So I think I figured it out. I think I know why Donald Trump left early and botched everything. As I'm watching this, they're talking about Felix Sater and Trump Towers. I think that Trump has a hidden vault in Trump Towers. I think he has a hidden vault where he's kept a lot of this information from, because you remember what I talked about when he signed off on his own personal liability by giving his power of attorney to Michael Cohen in 2014 and gave all of the power of attorney for the monetary funds to Weisselberg, so that way he separated himself from the indemnity of his monetary funds because he was under investigation, allowing his children to run his business for him. Yet at the same time, he has a huge amount, a vast amount of information wealth related to all of these other groups within the franchise that Hillary Clinton was talking about. And he knows that if Sater comes forward, or if they talk to Sater, he might leak that inside of Trump Tower, there is a special room or a vault or wherever it is in there that belongs to Donald Trump that nobody else knows about, because nobody knows the floor plans and nobody's measured the appropriate space where Donald Trump is hiding a lot of information. And if Felix Sater comes forward before Donald Trump can clear out Trump Tower, then Donald Trump could get caught with his pants down with all the information that his father had passed on to him, because this isn't just Donald Trump. This is passed on from generation to generation. His father was just as bad as he was. He just picked up the reins of where he was. Just like Giuliani said, Donald Trump is a petty mobster who got involved with a large group of people who believed that they were illuminated and believed that they could use him to become president to gain further purpose for themselves, because they knew that the Clinton family and the foundation wouldn't be able to do it. So someplace in the Trump Tower, someplace underneath lock and key, Donald Trump has a lot more information that nobody else has ever seen. And if they have seen it, they're not willing to talk about unless somebody asks them about it directly, because it's all the names and all the faces inside the franchise that he's gathered over the years in case they turn on him. So he always knew that having information on other people in order to coerce them to do what he wanted and or cause them to be extorted into the ability to strong-arm people was the same thing that they would use against him. So he made sure that he got as much information against them as he could. So he's coming back here in order to try to liquidate Trump Tower, because nobody else can get into it. It might be a fingerprint sensor, something that might be related to his eye, could be related to something spatially different than that. It might be facial recognition. Yet I'm sure that the vault can only be entered into through Donald Trump, which means that Donald Trump is going to need to get back here as soon as possible. So this whole thing in North Korea, him walking away, wasn't a matter of just Kim Jong-un. It was a matter of him and the principle of the idea that he couldn't get done what he wanted. He wanted to get capitalism into North Korea. He wanted North Korea to submit to him and to be able to get his Trump Towers on the east side of that so they'd be facing the ocean. He didn't care what they had to do. He didn't care if he betrayed his trust with Japan. He didn't care what type of weapons he had, because he's only about him. Now he knows that because of who's getting called in forward to the witness stand, he's got to get home immediately in order to protect himself. And so he's on his way home. And if we're quick enough, we can get into Trump Tower. We need to look at the blueprints of Trump Tower and then measure it spatially to find out where is the hidden rooms on that Trump Tower and what does Donald Trump have hidden in those rooms. Because he is the key to finding out how they all work together. How did Israel work together with Donald Trump? How did the oligarchs work together with Donald Trump? How did the Mohammed bin Salman work together with Donald Trump to get him elected? How did they hack our election process? How did they get into the NSA computer? And why? And why was Barack Obama monitoring Benjamin Netanyahu and all of them so sufficiently that Donald Trump, when he walked in, gave them everything they needed? The missile systems, the F-35 fighters, the F-35 stealth fighter jets. And why is it now that MBS needs to have nuclear energy when we don't even have accountability for non-proliferation treaty, and we broke the non-proliferation treaty allowing Israel to give away technology to Saudi Arabia? These are all questions, and it's very important to move faster than he does. God bless God. Move.